Guys, welcome into Lemons to Lemonade. My name is Kara and we are a furniture flipping company located deep in the heart of Texas. We started Lemons to Lemonade last year during the pandemic when my husband lost his job as a way to pay the bills. And our little furniture company has grown so much that we decided to start a YouTube channel so we could share all of our tips on flipping furniture for a profit. Today, we're going to flip a custom bedroom set, and at the end of this video, I'll share some of our tips on how we set prices for our custom work and what we find works best for us in our area. So stay tuned and enjoy, and as always, be sure to subscribe and like our content. Thanks! So here's our starting point. We've got 4 beautiful but dated pieces that we are going to update for a client. This is an old bedroom set that was passed down to her, so we're looking forward to giving it some new life. First things first, the client wants the top sanded off and stained, so we started with our Surf Prep sander. The link for our Surf Prep that I love is in the comments, and we've got a 120 grit sandpaper on this to start. For this particular piece, the client is going to order their own handles that they found online that they really liked, but they're not going to be in time for me to go ahead and put them on the project. So we are going to finish up the project without the handles on it, but we did end up filling in the holes for her just in case the hardware ended up being a different size than the holes that were already there. So we've just taken some wood putty to fill the holes, and then we're going to go back over the wood putty to smooth it all out with a 220 grit sandpaper. As you could see, there was a lot of sanding to do on this project. So the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and wash everything off to get rid of any grease grime, sanding bits, etc. I love to use Crud Cutter. It's a perfect way to get the grease and fingerprints and any stains off a piece of furniture. So it's perfectly prepped and primed and ready for paint. Next up is the paint. The client picked out the color Pussy Willow by Sherwin-Williams. We've got this loaded into our gravity-fed HVLP sprayer, and we're going to give this 2 coats to finish this piece off.
Next step is to finish off the top. We decided on a special walnut stain from Minwax. I like to put my stain on using these little square stain applicators. You can pick up a pack of these at Arbor Freight. You want a lint-free cloth to wipe it back after it's sat on for about 3 minutes. But I like to always go over the tops of my pieces before I stain with tack cloth, because even though the piece has been wiped down, you'll see in a minute, there's still some dust and dirt and things like that. There you go. Yuck. We want to get that off before you put the stain on. So you're going to go ahead and open up your stain, put the sponge stain applicator in there, and then apply the stain in the direction of the wood grain and wipe off in about 2 to 3 minutes. To finish off these pieces, everything's going to get a few coats of varathane, polyurethane, and a satin sheen. We like to use this varathane polyurethane on our pieces that are lighter, so anything that's white, cream, or light gray, we prefer the varathane. If you're going to use a polyurethane, this is the only one we found that won't yellow over time on our lighter pieces. We do use a new HVLP gun for our polyurethane. We don't mix it into the same one that we use our chalk paint for, and we did pick these up from Arbor Freight. I'll put a link in the description at the bottom if you're interested in seeing which HVLP we use.
So let's talk custom orders. So with Lemons to Lemonade these days, we're doing about 50% custom orders in our business. So custom order means the client has found us usually through our Facebook page, and they've inboxed me and they want me to redo something that they currently have in their home. So where I like to start is I get pictures of what they're liking and what they're wanting to redo, how big the piece is. That's always really important, because the picture of a dresser that they send you could look a lot different than the product that shows up at your house. So if it ends up being a lot bigger than you thought it was going to be, that's a lot more in paint and supplies and things like that. So always ask them for dimensions when they send the pictures over, and just a few angles on the picture so you can see everything that's on there that the client's wanting you to do. Another thing I really like to ask for is ideas of what they're wanting to do. So for instance, you want to know what are the colors in their house. Like, what are they wanting to do with this piece? What are some things on Pinterest or maybe at the furniture store that stick out to them they're hoping to turn their furniture piece into? People usually will decorate their house differently than you do. So honestly, like, we live in Dallas, or right outside of Dallas, and a lot of stuff here is farmhouse. A lot of people like farmhouse furniture in Texas, of course. I don't do farmhouse furniture in my house. I have very different style than farmhouse furniture. I am happy to do custom order farmhouse furniture all day long. love to work on that stuff, but I don't keep it in my house. So not everybody's going to want your design aesthetic. They might want something totally different than what you will gravitate for in your own home. So it's really good to know what they like and what they're going for. So if they can send you pictures, that would be excellent. It gives you something to go off of. The other reason I really like them to send me pictures from Pinterest or something like that is you can see what they're wanting done on the piece. So for instance, I've got a table here currently that we're working on. The client wants the top sanded down, stained, the whole base is painted, distressed, and then brown waxed. So just by looking at that picture on Pinterest, I can see all the different things, all the little details that I need to add to this table that she likes. But each of those little things adds a variable or a price difference onto her table. So the brown wax is going to be a little extra. The distressing on the table is going to be a little extra. Of course, I have to sand and stain an 8-seater table. So that's going to cost a little more because that's going to take some time. So all those little things need to be added into your price. It makes a big difference in your price between just painting one coat, one color of paint on a project versus adding all those little extras onto the project as well. Some of the other things that you're going to want to know right off the bat, is there any pieces that you need to fix or anything that's damaged? Is it anything that's going to require a little more than wood filler? So if it's a dresser, does it have some reeling inside that needs to be fixed? Is it a huge chip on a side that you're going to need some major Bondo repair on? All those little things you need to know about first, because you need to make sure that you can handle that project. What if you don't know how to fix inside of a drawer? What if all you really can handle is just some wood fill and sanding at the moment, which is totally fine. That's where we started too. But if they have broken pieces that you can't fix, then you have to just sort of be honest and be like, hey, I can turn this into what you want it to, but I really don't know how to fix that drawer for you. So if that's a deal breaker, you guys can talk about that up front before the piece gets to your house, which is always a good idea. So the next thing is you're going to collaborate with them about what they want done. And then honestly, pricing wise, prices are going to vary obviously from where you live and the area that you live in. So like I said, we live in Dallas, so our furniture market is really good, but our prices are going to be a little different than someone who lives in New York City, for instance. It's going to be a big difference between the two of those. What I like to do is see what my pieces are selling for. Most of our pieces sell on Facebook Marketplace or right off of our business Facebook page, and kind of gauge from there, because I will test out my market sometimes, so I see what are dresses currently selling for. Like, how long does a piece sit on Facebook if I price it this high versus that high, and things like that. So sort of gauge it around that way. Quite honestly, I don't want to try to invent the wheel, but one of the best videos I've found about setting your prices for custom orders came from The Refurbished Gentleman, and I will link his video below so you all can watch that if you want to see how he sets prices. He's actually the one who taught me how to set my prices. Thank you very much. Really appreciative of that. So I'll link his video down in the bottom so you can watch that as well and get some ideas, and that will probably help you get started about what you want to do about custom work. So you guys let me know in the comments, are you thinking about taking custom orders? Is this something that you've gotten into? Have you run into any problems with it? Are you afraid to do it? Just let me know. I'm happy to help you if you have any questions at all about this area. We do quite a lot of it, like I said, and it's been pretty lucrative for us. I'm very pleased that we have a good following and a lot of people that want to do custom in our area, so it's been really helpful for us. But I'd love to know how you guys are doing it as well. So just check in. As always, be sure to like and subscribe, and we are looking forward to seeing you next time. Bye, guys.